22nd of August, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Hashavua Re'eh.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Hello, Rabbi Moore. How are you?
Baruch Hashem. Very good. Okay, let's go. Where have we gotten up to?
I think we're on
Chav Ches. We didn't do actually the Rashi, I think. Let's go over Chav Ches again.
the Haklala im lo sishma'u el mitzvos Hashem Elokeichem v'sartem min haderech asher anochi mitzaveh eschem hayom laleches acharei Elokim acherim.
Elohim Acherim. Because here in this sense it means not real gods, not a real deity.
Right. Asher lo yedatem. Okay, so it means and the curse. You do not listen to the commandments of Hashem your God.
If you do not. Right? Im lo yisishma. Is that what you said?
That's what I said, yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't got lost in the. Yeah.
And the curse, if you do not listen to the commandments of Hashem your God, and you stray from the path that I command you today to follow after other gods, or gods of others, that you did not know. Sorry. So Rashi says, Min haderech asher anochi mitzveh eschem hayom laleches v'gomer. From the path that I command you today to follow, etc. Ha lemadta. This you have learned.
Or should we say, from this you have learned, you have learned. It always when the Gemara makes an inference, or Rashi here makes an inference, right? He's making an inference from the pasuk. Holomadata, we have thus learned, right? Or actually, you have thus learned.
Shekol ha-over avodah zara, that anyone who violates the law of worshiping idols, Hare hu sar mikol haderech. We see that he has strayed from the entire path.
Or shall we say, behold, hooray. It is as if. Right?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Hooray, it is as if who saw Mikol Haderech Shenistav Yisrael. As if he had strayed from the entire path from which Yisrael was commanded.
Shenitz tavu Yisrael, that Israel was commanded. Mikan amru, from here they said, Hamodeh ba'avodah zara, one who believes in idolatry, kechofer bakol haTorah kula, it is like he has denied the entire Torah.
Right. So we see from it here that somebody was Avodah Zarah is not just another transgression. Avodah Zarah is so fundamental that, and as far as is Parsha, the whole idea of accepting Hashem's sovereignty, Hashem's rule over us, and Hashem's accepting Kodesh Baruch Hu as a God, is that he is the one God, and therefore we have to show allegiance to him, and we have to follow what he tells us. Right? As soon as the situation is that, well, Hashem, yes, he has certain powers or whatever. He is also he is a deity, but there are others as well. So this kind of knocks down the whole status of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kaviyachal. If Hashem is the supreme God and he's the only one in charge, then our allegiance to him has to be that much greater, right? Than if he's, well, it's this God and that God and other gods. So Hashem is one of them. Mela, if I don't, right? Excuse me using this expression, but if, a God annoys me one day, so I'll go and serve somebody else. It takes away from the whole a whole relationship and a whole allegiance to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if Chas v'Shalom we would say that there's some other power as well. Okay. Weiter, Pasuk Chav Tes.
V'haya ki v'yacha Hashem Elokecha el haaretz asher ata v'shama l'rishta v'natata et habracha al har gerizim v'et haklala al har eva. Okay, so let's see. It will be that when Hashem brings
Hashem, your God,
right? Hashem, your God, will bring you to the land. Let's see, to the land. Vashama. That
to where you are coming.
Where you are coming.
To where you are entering,
to possess it, right?
To take possession of it.
To take possession of it. Vinatata. And you will, let's see, give?
Well, literally give, right. It could also be put.
Oh, and you will put, okay. The blessing on Har Gerizim and the curse on Har Eval. Okay. So what does that mean? I think that's Rashi's going to help us with this. Okay, so Rashi. Tata et habracha. Then you'll place the blessing. Targumo, as the Targum states.
Translates it,
yes.
Yas mevarachaya.
Yat mevarachaya. So, et hamivarachim, those who will bless you. I guess that's what it means.
Well, we'll have to understand. What does that mean?
Those who bless. So does that mean that Israel?
What it means is that the 6 tribes were supposed to go up. 6 tribes went up on the Har Gerizim, And they were the ones who kind of, they were the ones to, so exactly what exactly they did, the 6 tribes of the blessing and the 6 tribes of the curse, what function was it exactly? What was exactly the whole event or the process that was going on? When later on they did it, they actually gave the bracha on Har Gerizim and the klal on Har Eival. So the 6 tribes were going to, as mentioned later on in Parshas Kisavo, Eile Yamdu. Whereas in chapter 27, pasuk 12, Eile Yamdu levarach es Om al Har Gerizim, v'avrachem es hayarden, Shimon v'Levi v'Yehuda, Yisachar v'Yosef v'Binyamin. So there were 6 tribes were told that they've got to stand on Har Gerizim, and the other 6 tribes were told they're going to stand on Har Eival. Okay? And the 6 tribes on Har Gerizim were to stand Al HaBroch. Eile Yamdu levarach es ha'om al Har Gerizim v'avrachem es hayarden. Eile Yamdu al HaKlala b'Har Eival. So what does that mean? Levarach es ha'om. So Rashi there explains that the process was that the Levim who stood in the middle, they turned towards Har Gerizim, uposku b'bracha, baruch ha'ish asher lo ya'aseh pesu v'masecha, ve'elu oinim omek. Then chosru v'hafku pneim klape Har Eival, uposku b'klala v'oimim oro ish asher ya'aseh pesu. And they both sides answered omek. So what exactly means that they stood, and why it was necessary that the 6 tribes should stand for the blessing on Har Gerizim, and the other 6 tribes should stand for the curse on Har Eival? It's unclear exactly what that means.
I would say that they're the witnesses.
So why did we need 6 tribes to go up for the blessing and 6 tribes for the curse? Let them all stand together in one single place.
So
anyway,
I heard
they all answered Omek. It wasn't just the 6 tribes who answered for the bracha, Omein, and then the other 6 tribes for the curse, they answered Omein to the klala. All 12 tribes answered Omein each time, both for the brachas and for the klalas.
So I heard once that the tribe of Ruvain, or the representatives of Ruvain, did not stand for the curse because you might be suspicious that it was because Ruvain sinned.
And therefore,
so therefore,
what actually happened, they didn't stand there, you mean?
Had something to do with their role here. Even if you say amen, I mean, if you have 100 people at a wedding, they're all witnesses, but nevertheless, the rabbi will say the 2 exclusive witnesses are,
right,
because you have to designate who is the witness specific. Okay. So even though they're all said amen, it still could be that these 6 are these designated witnesses to the curse.
So why do we need that? Why is it necessary to have separate witnesses for the blessing and separate witnesses for the curse? If that's what's happening here. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm just throwing out the question.
I understand. I'm trying to think of an explanation. I'm thinking about when Moshe Rabbeinu says, "I call on heaven and earth as witnesses." Why do we need witnesses there?
So there Rashi explains, Moshe Rabbeinu is worried, not worried, but he knows that after he's gone, maybe the people won't remember this warning. So he wants heaven and earth that they should act as not just witnesses, but they will act as a reminder to the Jewish people, if you don't listen, then the heavens and earth are going to be the intermediaries, the conduits by which to warn the Jewish people, or even past that. If the Jewish people ignore the warning, they will be the conduits to actually bring about punishment to the Jewish people. So, and the point is that why Moshe Rabbeinu is going to witness is because heaven and earth, they're going to be around lot longer than I am, says Moshe Rabbeinu. How many? I'm not sure it was on the last day of his life. He said this, Hazinu, Pashtus it was. And Hazinu was said on the last day of Moshe Rabbeinu's life. By the way, it's amazing how much he did on the last day of his life, but I'm not going into that now. Basically, from Parshas Vayelech till the end of the Torah, Vayelech, Hazinu, and Bezos HaBracha were all said on the last day of his life, besides writing 12 Sifrei Torah, which normally takes a sefer about a year to do. He wrote them 12 on one day. And because of various other things, he had a very busy day. Anyway, the point is that I can understand that the idea of heaven and earth. But over here, why have 6 tribes for one thing, 6 tribes for the other? Let have everybody together. The entire Jewish people should act as a witness. If you're saying this idea of being a witness, I'm not sure. I don't know what the whole concept is. I'm not.
We know that the tribe of Benjamin was almost completely wiped out because of the incident with the
Pilegesh.
Pilegesh. So we see that the Jewish people feel an obligation to police ourselves. So perhaps that's part of it.
By the way, you know that there were tremendous losses on both sides, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, the tribe of Benjamin had clearly done something wrong by allowing this to happen, and they did not raise any objection to this. Can be anything short of a despicable act by the members of some of the tribe of Benjamin. But nevertheless, right, as you say, the Jewish people felt it right that they're going to go to the extent of even almost wiping out the entire tribe because they did not object to what was happening in their midst.
So I'm saying maybe we have something similar here, where these tribes are taking their responsibility to enforce these blessings and these curses.
Right.
And I mentioned before about the fact that, the personality of the tribe had to do with which group they were put in. Perhaps these 6 were particularly suited to enforce the curses, and these 6 were particularly suited to enforce the blessings.
Well, it's interesting. The 6 chosen, it says quite clearly who are the 6. Where's it? Going back to Parshas Kisor. Yeah. Okay. It says, who are the 6 for the blessing? Right? I'm just going to actually write it down because I have an interesting thought. But anyway, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, Yosef, and Binyamin.
Wait a second. How could Yosef be in there?
Because the 2 tribes were combined for this. I'm reading
You're not going to have 6 and 6 then.
Yes, you are, because you're going to have Levi as well.
Oh, Levi is going to be there. I thought Levi was
in the middle. So then
Levi's-
all the Hashem asked the question. Lemata, Vareshevet Levi Lemala Hoya, Moshe Fresh Bekosov, She'echad Mishisha Shvatim, She'ebahar Grizim. Omer Chazal B'Tesefta B'Soiter, Rebbe Lezer Ben Yaakov Omer, Yato Yochel Omer Levi Lemata, Shvanem Lemala. And Mameato Ziknei Kuhuno Levia Lemata, Ashar Lemala. So one opinion is it was only the elders of the Levian and the Kuhuna who were below, and the rest of the tribe of Levi was up top on Har Grizim. Rabbi Omer Haruin L'Shores Omdim Lemata, Ashar Lemala. Those who were able to were fit to serve in the Mishkan, both the Kohanim and Leviim, I guess till a certain age. Okay. Actually, Kohanim there wasn't limited, but all the Kohanim were below, and the Leviim till the age of 50, and all the rest of the Leviim are between 30 and 50, right? And all the rest of the Leviim goes up to the age of 30, and over the age of 50, they were up top on the mountain. Okay, that's the thing. But anyway, those are the 6. And for the Torah, the Pasuk says quite clearly, Ruvain, God, Asher, Zvulun, Dan, and Naphtali. Now, well, the reason why I'm writing out the names because there's a machloikus. You ask them a certain, do they have a certain trait or certain form of character? First of all, you both have both Shimon and Levi on the blessing side. And we know Shimon are the ones who I don't want to use the term derogatorily, but they were the hotheads, right? One of the thought, and they were cursed, right? Or apom ki oz, not they were cursed, but their anger was cursed. And they over here, were put on the blessing side. And now another 2 indicators which we have, now Rashi mentions it in Parshas Vayigash. The Rashi says, from a number that Yosef took from the from the some of his brothers. It says he took 5 of his brothers and he brought them to Paro. And there's a machlokas who they were. Who were these 5 brothers? And there are 2 opinions. One, some say it was the brothers whose names are doubled in Parshas V'zos HaBrocha. Who got a double mention? You got Yehuda, Shimon's not mentioned. Levi is not doubled. Who do you have over here? Binyamin's not doubled. Yosef is not doubled. Zvulun is doubled. God is doubled. Dan is doubled. And Naphtali is doubled. So actually 4 of them. Dan is doubled. It's very interesting. On the yes, I think Rashi says it over here that on the Klola side, all the ones on the Klola side had their names doubled in Parshas V'zos HaBrocha to show that they were see, Rashi says it in V'zos HaBrocha, V'lizvunon Amar, Eilu Chamisha Shvatim Sheberach B'achroina. These last 5 tribes which are blessed are the last 5 to be blessed. Zvulun, Gad, Dan, Naphtali, V'Asher, Kof al Shmoseim, double their names, L'chazkam u'l'hagbirom, to strengthen them and to fortify them. They were the weakest ones of the Shvatim. They were the ones who were brought before Paro. So those were the 5 weakest ones, and they were taka on the Klola side. So the weaker Shvatim. Why is Reuven there? That's a question. Okay, let's go on. We're going a little bit off the tangent here. Okay. Anyway, let's see Rashi here. Meir.
Okay, so it says Al Har Gerizim, Mount Gerizim, Kalafei Har Gerizim, toward Mount Gerizim, Hovchin Lo Yaaseh Fesel Umasecha
No,
V'Gomer.
I think we skipped.
Oh, Patchu. Oh, okay. Hovchin Pinehem, so their faces turned. Okay.
Turn towards Har Gerizim.
Ufatchu Bivracha, to
and
begin
the Levim who stand at the bottom opened, shall we say, began to bless. And they
Okay.
said as follows: Baruch
Baruch Ha'ish Asher Lo Yaseh Fesel Umasecha V'Gomer.
Okay. So first said, blessed is the man who does not make a molten image. And so this Rashi, I mean, this Gemara which Rashi quotes, is elaborated on later on in Parshas Kisavai, which I quoted before. Where is it?
27:15, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it 12? 27:12.
Oh, 12. Okay, it's a mistake here.
No doesn't matter. Hofkol empneim klape ha'grizim. Apostle bracha. Baruch Esh Asher Lo Yaseh Fesel Umasecha. Ve'elu onim amen. Both sides, both the 6 on the blessing and 6 on the curse both to get all together in unison answered on it. Then afterwards, the Levium at the bottom, the Kohen and the Levium turned towards Har Eibol, and they then began to say the klala, and they said, which is mentioned in the Pasuk. Went through all of them, add okay, so they all, so here Rashi abbreviates it. Okay. Kala arurim sheba Parsha, carry on Rashi. All the in other words, in Parsha's Kisova, it's mentioned 11 times. I think it's 11 or 12. 1 second. There it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The 12 Arurim mentioned over there. So before every Arur, it was said Baruch with the opposite. I mean, let's take the first one. I think first Rashi says the first example. The pasuk says, Arur ha'ish asher yaseh pesel masik. Cursed is the man who makes a molten image. Okay? And the Baruch side, the positive side was, blessed is the man who does not make a molten image. So that's
why is it all stated in the negative?
Oh, because as follows. A punishment cannot be stated by inference. We have a rule, ein onshin min adin. Okay? We don't punish through an inference, right? From a kal v'chomer even, right? Because punishment says we weren't warned. We said we weren't told about it. So he says, well, you should have understood. You know, if this is so, then this is it. No, we don't rely on it. It has to be stated explicitly. Whereas a blessing can be given even through an inference. So the Torah just mentions the curse side because that has to be stated explicitly. But the blessing side can be said, it doesn't have to be said explicitly, it can be understood from inference. And therefore, that's why it didn't need to be actually written down. But the blessing was there. Okay?
But why not state the blessing in a positive way?
We state both. Why don't state both?
Leave out the negative. Just state it in a positive way.
We cannot rely on a warning about the negative, right? Merely from an inference.
Right. So you have the negative. You have the negative, which is the explicit statement of the curse.
Right.
So that satisfies that criteria. So why not have the positive be?
Should say both. We should say both the positive and the negative.
Right. So why does it only say the negative?
I don't understand your question.
It says, cursed is the man who makes a graven image.
Right.
Blessed is the man who doesn't make a graven image.
Oh, so 1 second. The blessing doesn't say. It doesn't say explicitly in the pasuk. Only the negative is mentioned explicitly. We refer you to pasuk chapter 27, pasuk tes vov, and forward. Pasuk 15, from 15 till 25, 26, I'm sorry. So only the negative each time says oro. But it's understood, Chazal understood that obviously the blessing was also stated, meaning it's not stated in the pasuk, it's not stated in the Torah Shebiksav, but it was understood that's what it meant. And the blessing was said to the blessers, and the curse was said to the cursers. So again, we're not clear yet exactly what exactly this whole process of the people, the 6 tribes standing for the blessing, and now the 6 tribes standing for the curse. Anyway, there's Hashem. I hope I'll try and make a little bit of research into it till tomorrow, and we'll maybe have a better understanding. I think we'll stop here.
Okay.
Fine. Have a great day. Kol tov.
You too.
Okay, be well.
See you tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem.
Zat Hashem.
Okay.